Hey, my name's Colin. I write a blog called Value Don't Lie. That's valuedon'tlie.com. It's an ode to the old Rasheed Wallace Ball Don't Lie quote. I've never done one of these intro videos, so I thought I would spend a couple minutes talking through my background and what I'm writing about to give you a feel for what the blog is all about. So I've got this home base blog post where you can get a quick view of my background story, what quick value blog posts are all about, free sub stuff, and paid sub stuff. So, quick synopsis of my background: Big Four accounting, still have my CPA, got my CFA, went to go work at a fund on the buy side. It was like kind of a GARP plus value and special situation oriented portfolio. Learned a ton during that process. I think on my first day of work there, my boss handed me a copy of Greenblatt's "You Can Be a Stock Market Genius" just to give you a feel for what that environment was like. Spent some time in private equity, helped them do some acquisitions, and really for the last, I don't know, 8 years or so, my partner and I, we've been doing small business acquisitions. So we've done 15 acquisitions since 2018, and we run that holding company full time today. And then I like to write about stocks on the side. So that's my background. It's a combination of accounting plus public market and private market investing plus business ownership. So, I really like that blend of experience personally. Quick value, it's meant to be a jumping off point. So I think of it as like an idea generation thing. So I write at least one new idea every week. And not every idea is meant to be actionable. So some of these are just names on my watch list, and this forces me to work through that watch list, take a stab at valuing a company, see what's going on, and then put out some research on it. So it really hones my personal research process. Okay, so idea generation, jumping off point first and foremost. The format's pretty similar to every post. I try to give some background info on the company, what the consensus view is or what's going on, what makes it interesting, what's unique about it, if there's a catalyst, especially if it's a special situation. And then I try to put some valuation framework for each idea that I cover. One new idea a week. Occasionally I'll write additional posts like evergreen stuff about my processes, or just deeper dive on something that's really interesting at the moment. I've considered myself an all cap investor, so I'll look at small caps, micro caps, I'll look at big caps. Most of the premium posts are centered around small cap ideas with more of a special situation focus. You can see all the past ideas here. This is just my home base post here. Yeah, you can read about my philosophy, 10K approach, my process, see a list of all the other posts. Subscriber chat, that's where I talk about kind of my option ideas, like those ideas with lots of optionality in them. Recap posts, and then a link to all the recommendations that I've published on VDL. So that is in a nutshell what the blog is all about. I've got this nice like list of lessons learned document, and I think that's right here, philosophy and process. So you can read about all the things that I guess I believe when it comes to investing. And so really, to sum this up, my approach, simple terms, it's Greenblatt plus Burry plus Schloss, Walter Schloss, plus Buffett's partnership days. So lots of cheap stocks, lots of special situations in the portfolio, kind of a small mid-cap bent, but I'll look at ideas across the market cap space. So if you're trying to find ideas in the, call it 1 to 9x free cash flow territory, you'll find a lot of write-ups in that area. I don't do a lot of quality investing, but in market sell-offs, I think that's a great time to look at names like that. So I do cover some of those higher quality businesses occasionally. I think stuff like compounders personally, I think the talk around them is overrated. They're just so few and far between that you're just not likely to find them at good prices relatively frequently. So you may be lucky to hold on to one, right, at a good price and get a good return, but you're not going to see a lot of coverage of the high flyers, most popular stocks, at least in my blog. I also don't really believe in the idea of concentration. So I'll own as few as 10 and as many as 40, 45, maybe even 50 stocks, depending on what the idea set looks like. So it's not a concentrated portfolio where I've got 2, 3, 4, 5 bets, and that's it, right? So we'll see lots of idea generation, I'm pretty heavy on fundamental analysis, just having been an accountant, knowing how accounting works, been a business owner, right? Knowing the levers to pull and running a company, and then being in public market, private market investing, pretty heavy fundamental analysis, like pretty deep rooted in looking at the accounting and unpacking 10K, 10Q, etc. So you'll see a lot of that in the work that I do. So that's just a quick flavor for what the blog is all about. Check it out, valuedon'tlie.com. Give it a shot. If you ever got suggestions for ideas you want me to look at, send me a note. Thanks.